Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
All right, welcome back to the show. We made it to Friday. It's April 11th, and we're going to talk about baseball. We took the day off yesterday, had a lot of stuff going on. Wife was out of town. I have two kids. I had to take care of two kids, so recording a show was just not feasible. Putting together writing, got it, but with the show, just didn't get to it. But I'm going to come back and be better than ever today. Going to break down everything that happened across the minor league landscape yesterday. Not a lot of major league action, but there were some notable things, but ton of good minor league action and things to talk about. So we're going to do that right here. But first, as usual, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. Connect Roasters makes an incredibly smooth blend of coffee. It's ethnically sourced, and it's incredibly good. I cold brew it. I put some cold foam on it. It's incredible. And there's an exclusive offer for you as Dynasty Dugout listener. Use the code below, Dynasty Dugout, or use the link and follow. Automatically do it. You can get Ian Happ's Gold Glove Blend. Buy one, go on 50% off. It's a great deal. Also, Chinook Seedery is proud to partner with the show, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook has a wide variety of flavors, super good seeds, and a ton to love there. So you can get 10% off your order at chinookseedery.com using the code Dynasty Dugout. All right, let's dive right in. Off the top, lead of the show is Alex Clemmey, who had a dominant day. He struck out 10 batters over 5 innings, one hit ball yesterday, allowed just 2 walks. His first start was a little shaky. He had 5 walks in his first game last week in 3 innings, and he bounced back in a major way, landed 61% of his pitches for strikes, generated 11 whiffs, and posted a 39% CSW. Dominant performance for Alex Clemmey, who's still 19, and he's in high A, so absolutely great showing there. Clemmey sits in the mid-90s with his fastball. He's up to 98 this year. It's a big lefty with a ton of projection. You can probably see the fastball ticking up even further. With command gains, I mean, we might be looking at one of the better left-handed pitching prospects in the game. Clemmey's that good, and the talent is there. He throws a sweepy slider in the mid-80s. I mean, it's late depth. It's plenty of sweeping action. It's the mid-80s. I mean, he fooled some hitters on it yesterday. Like, you watch some of the video, and Clemmey looked really, really good. He threw several that just had an insane amount of glove side and movement. The changeup's a little firmer. It sits 88. It's got a little more separation now because the fastball's ticked up a little bit with Clemmey. So that's notable that the fastball has ticked up and the changeup sitting in a similar range. It gets a lot of whiffs. It has a good fade. It's a great platoon neutralizing pitch to right-handed batter. So Alex Clemmey, dominant performance. Great job. He earns the top spot in the show and on my daily report today. So there was a lot of good pitchers. Obviously, we've got to talk about Spencer Strider on his AAA rehab start. He's done. He's going back to the majors now, is what the reports are saying. And rightfully so. I mean, you look at what he did. He struck out 13 batters over 5 1/3 innings. He had 25 whiffs against the Norfolk Tides. So just utter dominance. We had a full major league rehab. Strider went and Zach Gibson went, if I'm not mistaken. Kyle Gibson, not Zach Gibson. Kyle Gibson went. Thinking about Zach Fruit at the Orioles, but Kyle Gibson went for the Tide, and man, what a good matchup. I mean, Strider was sitting 95.3 on the fastball. That's still down, but again, he threw 90 pitches, so that's notable that the fastball velo was where it was. The secondaries looked really, really good for Strider as well. He missed bats on a lot of his different offerings, and when you're generating the kind of whiffs that he did, then it doesn't really matter. I think the Strider's ready to go. I think he looked the part. I mean, the fastball reached 97. Considering when he had his reconstructive surgery and the internal brace, like the pitcher that Strider looks like right now, it's incredible that he came back this fast and he's doing what he did. 12 whiffs on the fastball, 10 on the slider, 3 on the changeup, 75% whiff rate on the changeup, 4 swings, 3 swinging strikes, 71% whiff rate on the slider, and 48% whiff rate on the four seam. That's a 56% whiff rate on the day and a 44% CSW. Strider's fastball is actually getting more IVB. It'll be interesting. It probably plays down a bit in the majors. The AAA ball is a little different. So he was averaging 19 inches of vert, 21 tops. I'll be surprised if it doesn't tick back to the normal 18 range, but we know Strider's upside. We know Strider is legit. Can't wait to see him back on the mound in a Braves uniform. Chase Allsup was good too. Orioles 4th rounder last year out of Auburn. He struck out 10 batters. And this was following a rough start last weekend. I saw Chase Allsup in spring breakout. He was fine. They sent him a single A. Like, the competition's probably not as good as it was at Auburn in the SEC, but he was dominant. You can't discount that. He struck out 10 batters across 5 scoreless, allowed just 3 total base runners on 1 hit and 2 walks, 19 whiffs for a 51% whiff rate on the day, and had a 41% CSW for Chase Allsup. So that was a dominant showing. His fastball works in the 93 to 95 mile an hour range, topped at 97. It does have legit riding action at the top of the zone. His changeup works in the 87 to 89 mile an hour range with good fade to it. And there's a low to mid 80s slider with good sweeping action. So Chase Allsup, he was certainly somebody that stood out yesterday. And he's somebody I've got some live video on. So also really, really good stuff there. Daniel Eagen, another one. We had several 10 strikeout performances, and Daniel Eagen was one of them. Eagen got shelled in his first high A start last week. He was a 4th rounder out of Presbyterian College right here in South Carolina in the upstate. Small school, and Eagen was drafted in the 4th round last year. He was very good last year in college. He didn't look good last week, but he looked really, really good. 10 Ks and 4.1 innings of work. He had 17 whiffs. 66% of his pitches went for strikes. That's notable. I mean, he's a heavy fastball arm. It's like 93 to 94, has 20 inches of vert on the pitch, so notable IVB, but he throws from a high release height. It's like a 6'6" release height, so that's obviously pretty notable. It gets good arm side run. And from the release point and the arm angle, the VAA is pretty good from a negative 5.5 VAA. That's pretty solid considering where he's throwing the ball from. He throws a downward curveball. No shock considering the release point, that high release. It's like negative 13 inches of IVB, a little bit of sweep on it, around 80 miles an hour. It generated an impressive like 53% whiff rate last year in college. It shows you the bat missing ability there. He'll throw a gyro slider in the mid 80s as well. And I'm curious if he works on a changeup development. That would be a big step forward for Eagen if he develops the changeup. Khal Stephen, way too advanced for single A. He was an arm out of Mississippi State last year. I mean, I saw it in spring breakout. He was extremely impressive. I mean, the Blue Jays put out a lot of impressive arms, but Stephen was definitely one of them. And he's been dominant. I mean, 11 innings so far this year in 2 starts, 3 hits allowed and 15 strikeouts. He was even more dominant in the start last night. He struck out 9 in 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit and walk. And then the only damage was really the Dillon Head homer. I'll talk about Dillon Head in a little bit, but Stephen literally allowed no damage at all outside of that pitch. You know, the fastball sits 93, but it plays up because it's 20 inches of vert from a 6-foot release height. Pretty good VAA as well from the release, and he gets really good extension. It's a heavy fastball usage, 65% usage in college. It's stayed there in pro ball so far. You know, he's differentiating the cutter and slider a little bit more than when I saw him in spring breakout, which is notable. Cutters like 85, 86, a couple 87s with more carry, 4 inches of horizontal. Slider was 83 to 85 with like 6 to 7 inches of glove side movement. He did not throw his upper 70s curveball yesterday, but it is part of the arsenal. Changeup sits 83 to 86 with good carry and fade on it. Khal Stephen, Khalstephen. Khal Stephen, name to know. Nazir Mulé. He's been dominant. He was drafted in 2022, 4th round pick out of high school, 2-way guy, had Tommy John surgery. We didn't see him until last year, and he struggled on the mound. Like, they pulled him from the field. He struggled on the mound, but he had a full offseason for the first time in his pro career, and he looked the part. He showed why the Cubs have liked him so much. He's only 20 years old still. He's in single A, but he struck out 5 batters across 5 innings of work. The command is shaky. It was 59% strike rate, so control not there either, but he also generated 12 lifts for a 33% whiff rate. It's an electric fastball in the mid-90s that reaches 99. I mean, it's an incredibly flat approach angle. Like, you watch where he releases it from, and you're watching this video on YouTube. I mean, Nazir Mule is like, okay, yeah, I see why he's missing bats with the fastball, because it's an arising effect on that pitch. The slider was dominant on Thursday night. Shape inconsistent at times, but really good pitch. Changeup still a work in progress, but at its best, it does have some good depth and fade to it. I mean, he looks like he could be a major riser up list this year. Nazir Mule, the Cubs, very, very good stuff. Parker Messick dominated again. Still feels like Messick's flying under the radar. Yes, he's 24 in AAA. He was a college product from Florida State. But last year, splitting time between high A and double A, he tossed 133 innings at a 2.83 ERA with 165 strikeouts to 44 walks. He's made 2 AAA starts so far. He's yet to allow a run. He struck out 8 batters on Thursday. It was fastballs in the low 90s, but it actually has ticked up a little bit, which is notable. He's sitting 92.5 right now, and he's topped at 96.5. Last year, topped around 95. So that's notable. From his release height, it's a flat VAA. It's above average IVB, like 16.5 inches of vert. It's good stuff, but the changeup is dirty. It's sitting around 85 now. It has late arm side fade. I think it's one of the best changeups in baseball based on a performance standpoint. That's Parker Messick, by the way, of the Guardians. 30% swinging strike rate on that pitch last year. It was nearly 17 inches of arm side fade last night. Really good depth to it. He mixes in a slider and a curveball. It's good command. The arsenal plays well. He throws strikes. Parker Messick's a dog, and I think he's going to pitch in Cleveland by this summer. And people are going to be like, what happened? Like, how did this guy? Yeah, he's legit arm. I think that I've probably been too low on him. But the mix of stuff, the high floor, Messick might be a borderline, like, top 125 prospect. Couple of Rangers arms before we get the bats. Caden Scarborough, he's a buzzy name. I know Jeff Ponce wrote a great article about him the other day. He's a Rangers prospect, former basketball standout in high school. We're talking about a 6'5" projectable pitcher on the mound. He was drafted back in 2023 in the 6th round, got an overslot bonus, was heading to Dallas Baptist, but the Rangers gave him that overslot to keep him away. There's so much athleticism in this frame. The fastball is ticked up. You know, he threw a career high 3.2 innings last night on 61 pitches, landed 62% of those pitches for strikes, and he had an impressive 37% CSW with 17 called strikes. The fastball is averaging close to 95 miles an hour. It's a very deceptive release if you're watching this video. The ball just jumps out of his hand with good ride. It plays extremely well. I mean, he misses a lot of bats at a very high clip. He used it very heavily in the first start of 2025. He used the slider more last night, which I thought was encouraging. More sweepers. Those things are good. Very high spin. He was front-dooring and back-dooring lefties and righties, which, I mean, you watch some of this video and hitters were fooled for sure. It's in the low 80s with good horizontal movement. There's a changeup, but it is a work in progress. The strides that Scarborough has made in the last 6 months is very notable. I mean, he should be on everybody's radar at this point. Looks like a potential breakout. Single A for the Rangers, 20 years old, Caden Scarborough. And Paul Bonzagni, he's been interesting too. He was a 2023 12th rounder out of Southern Illinois' Carbondale. Not just Southern Illinois. There was even a smaller branch of Southern Illinois University. He entered 2025 with a little bit of breakout appeal. He's looked good. He was good in his first start, but even better last night. 5 innings of one run ball with 7 strikeouts. It's a mid-90s sinker. Has been up to 99 at times. Heavy ground ball pitch. The slider has very solid sweeping action in the 82 to 84 range. Changeup lacks velocity separation from the fastball, but its movement profile does play well off the sinker. It sits like 89. He's looked really good too. I'll see him next week, actually, that I'm really looking forward to. So those are the pitchers to note. Let's talk some hitters because there's a lot of notable hitters as well. But first, let's take a quick break. All right, let's talk some hitters that stood out yesterday across the minor league landscape. Starting with Jimmy Crooks, one of my favorite underrated catchers in minor league baseball. He had a big day on Thursday, collecting 3 hits and was a triple shy of the cycle. He drove in 6 runs in the process. He struck out in the first inning. He shook it off, and he was dominant. He nearly collected an opposite field hit immediately after, struck 89 miles an hour, traveled 297 feet, but it was robbed on a good play by Mike Antico down the line. Then he got going. Sixth inning, pulled a deep fly ball that landed on the warning track, 101 mile an hour double. In the seventh inning, single left the bat at 99 miles an hour. He got an at bat in the ninth inning. The team was up 5-3, and he cranked a 3-run homer. Sure, the surface stats aren't really lighting the world on fire, but the under the hood data looks good. Crooks is running a 105 mile an hour ninth percentile exit velocity in the early going. It was 107 last year, so that stands out. He has an 85% zone contact rate. The approach is good. Last year, Jimmy Crooks dominated, and he didn't really get the recognition he deserved. He's good behind the plate. He threw out 33% of base runners that attempted to steal on him last year in Double-A. I don't know. I think this might be a guy that people just aren't talking about enough. But what about Slade Caldwell, who people do talk about? First rounder by the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. He had his first career pro home run. That was of note. It wasn't a cheapie. It was an opposite field shot for Caldwell. He also almost left the yard again to the pool side. Had a double that banged off the wall. That wall looks pretty tall. It looked like it was about 15 feet tall. He hit up at least halfway up the wall. And he had another opposite field double that barely landed inside the chalk down the left field line. Caldwell's small, but he plays well above his frame. He is an exceptional player. He hits the ball hard for his size. He's got some speed as well. And the contact skills are good. He's looking really good across all aspects of the game. Looking at the underlying data, I think there's some things to like with Caldwell. He looks like a top 100 prospect to me. He's young still. He's 18. He's the age of some players that would be drafted this summer. So you look at that and say, yeah, man, maybe there's some things here with Caldwell where he could really pop off and rise up the rankings. Same's true with Dillon Head, Dillon Head had similar buzz coming out of the draft. Head was drafted first round by the Padres, and it's been a few years. He has not been healthy for most of his career to this point. He's 20 and a half years old. He was drafted first round back in 2023. He went to the Marlins in the Luis Ariz trade last summer. You ever remember where you were when a particular thing happened? Because I remember that trade. I was driving back from a game in Asheville, and I remember exactly where I was on Highway 25 coming back from Asheville, oddly enough, when I saw that notification on my phone when that trade broke. Random side note, but I don't know why. I thought of that this morning when I was writing up Dillon Head. And he's tools for days. Head has 70 grade run times. They're legit. He can move. He's decent in the field. I think there's sneaky pop in the profile. He's just never been able to stay on the field. Last year he had 123 plate appearances, had 124 in 2023. So he's never really stayed healthy, but hopefully this is the year. I don't expect Head to be in single A long. He was in single A during his draft year in 2023. So he's eventually going to move up. He faced Khal Stephen. And Stephen, I mentioned, pitched very well. He homered off him in the fifth inning. It was 96.3 miles an hour, traveled 372, but he also had a single later in the game at 105 miles an hour. He's had a couple over 105 already this year, which is notable. The launch angles are a bit of the question. A lot of ground balls. He also is a bit aggressive and chases a lot. But the returns are good. I wouldn't be shocked to see Dillon Head move on out of Jupiter pretty quick. Gabriel Rincones Jr. just continues to do what he does. He looks really good. He's been a dude for a long time. I failed to acknowledge it till I saw him in 2023 in the AFL. This is a major league body. He's strong and he looks the part. He's stood out in AAA to this point. Every time I've seen him in the AFL in 2023, 2024. I saw him in spring training multiple times in 2023 and 2024. He's good. His first inning double was 380 feet, 107 off the bat, hit off the wall. He added a single and had 4 batted balls north of 103.3 miles an hour. Funny enough, the homer was the one at 103. He topped out at 114 MPH yesterday. Rincones is at the top of the minor or the AAA StatCast leaderboard every day. Him or Ernesto Martinez are at the top of the hardest hit balls. He has an 86% zone contact rate with a 110 mile an hour 90th percentile and a 50% hard hit rate, which is quite notable for sure. Cristian Hernandez, he made that swing change last year. hopefully you saw it early. I saw Hernandez in Myrtle Beach the second week of the season and noted the swing change. I put out a video on that. He's significantly better. He added power. He improved a lot of things. The fatal flaw last year was a 50% ground ball rate. Guess what? Hernandez is running an 18% ground ball rate in the first week of games. Yes, it's a small sample, but it's something to keep an eye on. He has 3 multi-hit games already, and he blasted his first home run of the year on Thursday night. Contact rates look good. I think he's a prospect who works his way back into the Cubs' top 10 soon. If you remember, maybe you don't, $3 million bonus in 2021. He was one of the big names in the international market that year, but he hasn't panned out to this point. Slowly gotten better. Shocker, baseball's a hard game. And seeing this development is exactly what you want to see out of a prospect. I'm rooting for Cristian Hernandez. He's 21 years old with the Cubs in high A. He made it to high A last year. He'll probably get to double at some point this year. So props to Cristian Hernandez for the continued success. I think that he's going to be quite fine. Looking at some others, just quick hits that caught my eye yesterday. Several 4-hit games, but one of them, Ricardo Cova. Not a name I was overly familiar with. 20-year-old in single A with the Mariners. He's been swinging the bat well. He homered, drove in 4, and had a walk, so he reached base 5 times. Ricardo Cova is a name that I'm going to dig into a little bit more because just seeing him pop early, like, all right, there's something here. Daverson Gutierrez of the Mets. That's Daiverson Gutierrez. He had 3 hits, drove in 2. He's a 19-year-old catcher in single A. He had a lot of buzz, and he's one of the younger prospects in full season ball right now. He was a big international signee, so keep an eye on him. Cooper Kinney had 3 hits, including a home run. Rays, he's a talented prospect, second baseman, big for a second baseman, but legit stuff there. Anthony Gutierrez looks like a potential breakout. A couple years early, I thought he was going to break out several years ago. He played all last year hurt, so that was notable. And he had 3 hits on the day. Stone Russell, who I mentioned in my live looks, he continues to swing it well. He was a prep draftee in 2023 by the Royals out of IMG. He's had a slow development process, but he's in single A. He's looked really good in my looks. He's had 4 straight multi-hit games for what it's worth. He's only 20. He's got a great frame. He's plays around the infield. Stone Russell's a guy to keep an eye on in deep leagues. May go ahead and add him in the deepest leagues and just see where it goes. In worst case, you can drop him. But yeah, he's certainly somebody that caught my eye. After I kind of dogged Gabriel Gonzalez a little bit after spring breakout and seeing him in the spring look really bad, he's hit another 3-hit game. He had a double. He looks good at the plate. The defense is terrible, though. Like, he's a DH, and I'm not sure he's got the bat to be a DH, frankly. So that'll be something to watch as well. Jared Thomas, drafted out of Texas last year to the Rockies. He's looking good. Had a 3-hit day last night. There's a lot of guys that are kind of popping pretty early. Jose Fernandez was mentioned to me in the Discord. He's interesting. He had 3 hits, had a double. He's somebody to keep an eye on. He's a really good glove, big arm, stays on the left side of the infield. He's 20, and he's got the potential for sure. He's actually 21, I apologize, but he's in Double A. Bat hasn't been there so far, but the contact skills are up. He's got a 6'3" frame. There's some projection on it. If he can add a little weight and add some pop, then there might be something here. So Jose Fernandez of the Arizona Diamondbacks, somebody to watch out for as well. I think that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in for the show, and we will catch you again tomorrow.